toilet. So we got the taller version. There's like a shorter one and a taller one. It's so light.
It's plastic.
Yeah. Today I'm going to be attempting to take this toilet off. It shouldn't be hard. There's a bolt right there, a bolt on that side, and then you disconnect the pipes here in the back, water pipe, and that's pretty much it. The only problem is though, I don't know if I'm gonna reach that. There's like no room at all here. So that's the only reason it's gonna be a little bit hard. I want to get the flooring in there, so if the toilet's gone, it's gonna be a lot easier to make it nicer. I also want to replace the rubber seal that goes on the bottom of the toilet because it's also old, so I'm afraid that it might be dry rotted, so I don't want the toilet to leak. We'll just replace it and get a nice clean one. What I do when I work with old toilets, I just put a trash bag on top. That way, like when you're leaning around on it everywhere, I'm bolting the bolts and you don't have to be touching the nasty toilet. Got this bolt off on this side right there. It's easy to get that one off. This one's not possible to reach in there. I tried everything. What I actually had to do was cut my wrench in half, have this little piece, and this is the only way I can reach it. It sucks because I had to cut the wrench, but I'll just have to buy a new one. This is the only way it's possible to get in there and unscrew that bolt because there's no space at all. That was really painful to get off, and yeah, you're not going to do it unless if you have this little space, unless you cut the key like this. If you have a different RV or camper, you'll probably have more room and it'll be easy to reach. So now it's time to get the toilet off. Go unscrew that and then you take it off. I just don't have room here because of the shower. Got some antifreeze spillage going on because it's winterized. That's not a big deal. If you have more room, then it's really easy to take off. I just had this and I couldn't reach my hand in there. I almost gave up, and then I got the idea of cutting the wrench in half, and I was able to fit it. It was still hard. I had to do a little twist, but I was able to get it off. It's really nice in here, so I'm gonna get it all out and put in the new floor here and fix up the toilet. This pipe, it actually like unscrews the other way. I think it unscrews like this way. Normally everything screws in that way. So keep that in mind. Finally got it off. Time to continue. I'm gonna try to take this off. I think it's just supposed to unscrew, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think it's gonna come out that easily. And it seems like someone already siliconed it before. But yeah, I wanna take it off, lay the floor, and then buy a new one, put on and buy a new toilet and new gaskets and new everything. So I tried and using a hammer and putting between these bolts and twisting it, but it's not going. Try to cut all this off and then cut down that way and try to unscrew that way. Because I'm tired of wasting my time trying to unscrew anything's gonna go. Stinks. Some pretty thick plastic. You see all the silicone they put on trying to make a level or something, I don't know. So it's a good thing I'm taking it off and redoing it because I don't have any leaking problems. Well, who knows if I did this and this is better or made it worse. So I can't get it off, so I start breaking it off in pieces with these pliers. It looks like it's what I was thinking. The tank is there, and you can see a little bit right here of white plastic, clear plastic. There's a tube, and then this thing like either screws in there and or glues in there, and that's just all like putty or something. So I'm just gonna keep breaking off and then try to break that inside out. I'm surprised that the floor is insulated. I didn't know the floor is insulated too. It's nice. Still working, trying to get the black pipe out. So I got this wooden mixing stick, and I went around with a screwdriver and loosened the pulley up around it, and I managed to get in there. Then I'm just using this hacksaw blade and just cutting like this where the wood is right here, so I don't cut this white pipe from the black water tank. It's just crazy. So success. Put the little wooden pieces in. So I'll cut the white pipe, and then I cut the hacksaw like this side and this side, and then broke a piece out. And now I think I'll be able to get it out. Yeah, it's moving, see? I'll be able to get it out now. Finally. And yeah, make sure to wear gloves, because you will be sticking your hand down this hole where the poop is at. Well, there's no poop in right now because it's winterized, but still. Oh yeah. Finally. My goodness. That's just crazy. I got it out. So this black pipe, it has the, I think it's called a flange, like a plastic thing. That's part of this. It goes in there, on here, and the toilet goes on top. So I'm gonna replace this. And I watched a video, and the guy had one that like screws in. At first I was trying to unscrew it, and then I realized that it's probably not screwed in. So this one, pretty much they just put a bunch of putty on it and just stick it in there. Well yeah, it's like impossible to get it out, because I tried with the crowbar to pull it out, and then the whole tank just like moves around. So I was scared to break the tank. So finally got it out. I can finish up the floor, and hopefully I'll be able to find a new one to buy like this. And there's some bigger pieces. I'll have to stick my hand in there. It sucks, but you do what you gotta do. At least the tanks are empty because it's winterized, and no one has used this camper for years. So that's the good thing about sticking your hand into a tank that used to hold crab before. These are the toilets side by side. That one's the new one, this is the old one. We bought the new one. It's a little bit taller, probably 2 inches. You can see on here, the bolt goes in here, and it's such a small space, and in the bathroom it's already like no space here. So when I was taking it off, I had to cut the wrench in half and try to unscrew that bolt here just a little bit at a time. So that was really terrible. On that one, there's a lot more room, so I'm hoping that one will be easier to put back on. So yeah, that's how they look side by side. Time to install the new toilet. It's been a long time since I took this old one off. We finally got a new one and bought everything we need. I got this plastic piece to go in there. I got this actually from Lowe's. We bought one online for an RV, but this one goes inside the pipe, and that's how the old one was. And the one we bought at the RV store, it goes on top. So I'm going to use this one from Lowe's. I didn't even know that you can use normal toilet, maybe like a flange or something. I thought you needed a specific one for RV, but I guess not. And this one from Lowe's fits a lot better. So I'm going to be putting this in. Then I'm going to use this plumber's putty. There's some over on there, so I'm going to put some on here too and slide it in so it holds better together. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere because that's the tank, but that's how it was, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I put the bolts in and actually put the toilet on top, just to make sure the angle I want it to be at. I moved it that way a little bit just so you have a little bit more room here. And now I'm gonna start screwing the screws into here to hold it down. Now I have a normal drill, I just left it work. So I'm using this big cement mixing one. Okay, so I'm gonna screw them all in and tighten them with a screwdriver. So I screwed on all of these screws and hand tighten them. You might wanna put on a glove and stick your hand there, pull up that pipe from the black water tank just to make sure it's all snug and good. These bolts, they came with the toilet. You slide them in here. Mine were pretty much like this. Next, you put this gasket on the toilet. You put the toilet and align the holes on here with those bolts, and you need to attach that hose to the back of the toilet. I put the toilet on the bolts. I didn't tighten it, but you can see that it's not sitting level. That means it's sitting on the gasket. If your toilet's not doing that, it's just sitting straight on the floor, then you might need to add another gasket, because it means that there's not enough gaskets. But since it's doing this, like when you tighten the bolts, the gasket will compress and the toilet will sit flush on the ground. So I got some Teflon tape on there, and that's where we connect the water line to there. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I think I got it. So after you connect the pipe in the back, you put the toilet and align it on the bolts on the sides. Pretty much you're done. You just screw these nuts on this side, and after that you have to put the caps on. Make sure you don't over tighten them too much. Just tighten them just enough, then put the caps on. Hopefully it'll be easier to reach than when I was taking the toilet off. Okay, so the new toilet is on. It was definitely easier to tighten the bolts on the side here than the old toilet. It's a little bit more room. It wasn't completely easy, but easier than the other one. After you tighten them, and when you tighten the bolts, do a little bit on each side. Don't just tighten one at once and then the other one. Do them, both of them, a little bit. And then after that, connect the water and make sure there's no leaking at the bottom and no leaking in the pipe in the back. And that's it, you're done. Alright, that's it. Toilet's done. Some privacy, please.